68 million years ago in the Arctic, a Nanoxaurus was poised to strike, its eyes locked on a Troodon. Without warning, it launched a surprise attack, but the Troodon reacted swiftly, turning and sprinting away. The chase led them to a vast open plain where the terrain was barren and offered no hiding spots. Perfect conditions for the Nanoxaurus to fully utilize its strengths. As the predator closed in, the Troodon realized it needed a new strategy. Suddenly, it changed course, darting toward a frozen lake. Thanks to its lightweight build, it crossed the ice safely. But the heavier Nanosaurus wasn't so lucky. Its massive frame caused the ice to crack, trapping it in the freezing water. Despite its desperate struggles, escape was impossible. This innate intelligence allowed the Troodon to thrive in an era ruled by giants. Of course, the Troodon's cleverness wasn't just for survival, it also made daily life easier. One day, a Troodon crept up to a tree stump, used its slender claws to peel back the bark, and exposed a plump insect. With precise timing, it snatched the bug but didn't eat it immediately. Instead, it carried the insect in its mouth to a nearby stream. Just as I wondered what it was planning, the Troodon did something unbelievable. It deliberately tossed the insect into the water. The move left me baffled, but barely 2.5 minutes later, a small fish appeared. Seizing the opportunity, the Troodon swiftly caught a fat little shark. It turns out the Troodon was the true pioneer of fishing. Similar behavior can still be seen today in some deer and birds. After all, a single insect isn't enough to fill its stomach, but using one as bait for a bigger meal was the key to survival in this competitive world. Time passed, and the next day arrived with a violent snowstorm. Some dinosaurs froze to death on the spot, but the feathered Troodon was insulated against the cold, so its life wasn't in immediate danger, though its carefully groomed feathers were now a windswept mess. Once the storm passed, the Troodon was starving, and now was the time for its intelligence to shine. Using the same method as before, it scraped away the snow with its small claws, uncovering a hidden stash of nuts, food it had stored away before winter for emergencies. When the depths of winter arrived, the Arctic was shrouded in perpetual darkness, but the Troodon's sharp mind allowed it to adapt to even the harshest conditions. As time moved forward, early spring arrived. A herd of Pachyrhinosaurus grazed along the riverbank when suddenly the entire group grew restless. What was happening? It turned out a group of Troodon were trying to drive them away to defend their territory. Pachyrhinosaurus were herbivores and normally didn't attack other dinosaurs, so the Troodon's aggressive behavior was practically suicidal. These thick-skulled giants could even hold their own against a T-Rex. Fortunately, the Pachyrhinosaurus merely issued a warning before leaving. With the threat gone, the Troodon returned to its nest. In this species, females were nothing more than egg layers. They left after laying their eggs, leaving the males to handle incubation and childcare. When our protagonist returned to its nest, it found the eggs shattered. Had they been eaten by another dinosaur while it was away? Just as confusion set in, a group of fuzzy little creatures appeared nearby. The father instantly recognized them as his own offspring, and his heart swelled with joy. Eager to begin their training, he led the hatchlings into the forest. From that moment on, he would teach them the skills they needed to survive. While the young ones were still puzzled, the father stopped at a familiar tree stump, pried off the bark, and swiftly caught an insect. The hatchlings assumed he would feed them, but instead he carried the bug to a stream and, right before their eyes, tossed it into the water. Just as they were baffled by this strange act, a plump little fish surfaced, and their father snatched it up. Witnessing this clever trick, the hatchlings finally understood their father's wisdom. After tasting fish for the first time, they were hooked. The next day, one bold youngster tried to mimic the fishing technique, but lost its balance and fell into the river. Luckily, the father was quick to rescue it. This insect fishing method was a crucial survival lesson, and in the days to come, the father would pass down all his knowledge to the next generation. If these little ones could master these skills, they might one day leave their mark on this ancient land. If these little ones could master these skills, they might one day leave their mark on this ancient land.